CTE trades. So market's looking to open up somewhere up about 30 points or so. So we closed at 37.14, I believe, 37.14 last week. So we'll see where things open today. But 37.14, if we run up about 30 points, so 37.45 and change or so is where we'll end up. So about 37.45. What we're looking for, expected move on the day, probably somewhere around the 34 mark or so, but we'll see what happens when we open. So welcome everybody back in. Another month we're at it. Like I said, 37.35. So 37.45 is where I'm guessing we're going to open, and that should be somewhere around 36 point expected move. On the day, a couple tickers that we'll look at this morning. We'll get up and running. We get 5 wheel trades still on, 2 bear traps still on. Market's going to run higher on the day. And I've still got, again, I still have a few hedges on. We'll see where those go. And I've still got some UVXY on. We'll see what happens with that. Other than that, we've got good stuff on. Like I said, 5 wheel trades, 2 bear traps. Those bear traps should be in good shape heading into today with 2 days left on both of them. So they'll start to hit their sweet spot here as we move around. So we got about 5 minutes till the open. We'll take a look at a few other things once we get going. Again, pretty flat. Take a quick look at some of the stuff we have on. Chewy, one of our wheel trades. We've got Chewy on at 95 down here, and we're looking to open higher by about 2 points or so on Chewy. So we should get a rebound back up into the 103 area here on Chewy as we try to hold this uptrend line on Chewy. So this, at least for now, should look pretty good. I think it's a good entry point on Chewy too. So I think if you want to take a look at some other trades on Chewy, I think you have a good opportunity on Chewy. DraftKings. So DraftKings looking pretty good as well. So DraftKings is going to be up a little bit today. I don't know if it'll be up a full point, but it's going to be looking to bounce back up into the 55 range this morning. We've got the 50 put on down here. So that's the newest trade that we have, which is right on support here as well. So we've got a nice little support area, and we also have our trade on DraftKings, so that should be in good shape as well. Fastly, just a quick review of what we have on. We'll do more later. Fastly, we still have a fly on in here. Fastly is going to open up slightly up today. And we do have that eye of the even fly on from 125 to 115. So right around in here. So do have a butterfly on in Fastly here. It's pretty flat right now. We'll take a look at it after the open and see, but Fastly is looking to move up a little bit at the open. Have one in-out trade on. Don't. Got a fly in Neo. I'm sorry, put in Neo here at 55. So we got the 55 put in Neo. Neo is going to open up about 2 points higher. So it's going to be moving higher on the day as we bounce back off the 22 moving average. So our 55 put in Neo looks good at the open today. So this is where we'll keep an eye on in NEO. That one looks good. And then Pinterest, 2 minutes away. So Pinterest, we're sitting on the 65 put in Pinterest. Down in here, which also looks pretty good, and Pinterest is going to be up about a point today. So Pinterest looks to open higher at the open as well with everything else. And then Skechers. So Skechers, we've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on in Skechers. It's looking to open pretty flat, maybe a tad higher on Skechers. We'll see. We own the 35 put down in here, so we've got our 35 put on in Skechers. So we'll keep an eye on that put. We've broken below it. We'll see if we can rebound back to it. We had this other fly on, which I don't think is going to fare as well, but we have plenty of time. So let's see what happens on Skechers and see if we've maybe bottomed out here in this area and can start to reverse. So those are our trades that we have on. So we're going to take a look at getting in at the open, primed and ready to roll for the day on SPX. So markets are open, gapping up. So we're going to open quickly at 37.50. So 37.50 is our open on the day, and we're looking at about a 32, 33 expected move with an IVR of around 30.3 to open. And then VIX too, before we jump in, VIX is up at 31. So it's in that range where between 30 and 40, VIX has not been our friend. So we'll keep an eye on things. 37.50, I'm going to look at about 60 wide on this iron fly to open the day. So I'm going to look to open at about 60 wide. We're up a little bit already on the day, but I'm going to keep it at 37.50 most likely. And I'm probably going to stick with about a 60 wide on this. So see where we can get filled this morning. Can we get 29.10? $29.90, somewhere in that range. That's already dropping back as we move higher, or as we move back down. Tried to get in at 29, struggling with that. At 28.70, 28.90, 28.60. So it's dropping pretty quickly here. Didn't get in quick enough on the open to get a good fill on our fly. All right, so $29.60, $28.60, $28.50. Wow. This fly has moved around this morning. It's already dropped a full point from where I tried to get in on it. It's at 28.65, 28.40, 28.30. Wow, I really feel like we're chasing this thing hard as it drops this morning. So let's see if we can get some stability in this iron fly. It's been a tough little bugger this morning to get in on. And so 37.50. Ernie got in at 29.95, which is incredible. You'd be out. You should be out. It was at 28.50 right now, so you should be about out of this thing. That's fantastic. That's unbelievable because I've been trying to get in on this iron fly at 37.50 all morning, and I got just an absolutely terrible fill on it. All right, so I'm going to see if I can get that thing posted up here. And it posted. Problem with that is chasing it all morning kept me from getting into the other stuff this morning. So, but I went the 36.90, 37.50, 38.10, and I got 28.60 out of it. So not a great fill, but we're in. See how it goes. All right, so 28.60. We're going to look to get out at 27.10. Get the order on. And then since we collected roughly $29 on this thing, $37.79 will be our top end, and the 37.50 minus the 29 will be at about 37.21. All right, we're in. We'll see what happens. It's jumped way. Let's see. It's jumped down a tad on it. So Ernie, yeah, you should have been in and out by now, right? So yeah, less than 2 minutes. Fantastic. That's good stuff for everyone. We're going to look to get in on a spread now. All right. All right, bear with me as I'm trying to get in on a few other moves here this morning, and looking at the put spreads. Boy, the premium is not fantastic around where the mark that I like to be at. Well, still looking on the put side of things. It's moving higher, so I want to get in on this put first and be done. Boy, as we move higher, it's tough to get in on the put spreads. All right, I'm still waiting to see. Still waiting to see if I can get in on the put side as we move higher. So it's moving away fairly quickly on things. All right, so I'm in on the puts. I'm going to try to get in on the call side as well. Call side, thing's sitting right at my strike, which I don't necessarily love. So iron fly is in the way on the call side. So give me a moment here. We'll get things posted, and we're just waiting to see where we go. It's been pretty much flat all morning. So the puts, I'm in at the 36.55, 35.85, small credit. All good. Now we're trying to get in on the calls. Iron fly is in, it's working its way around, so we'll let that go. Bear with me as I think Tastyworks, I think I'm in, but Tastyworks has given me no indication that I'm in. Looks to me, yeah, there we go. Let's see. All right, fussing around with Tastyworks right now. All right, still trying to get in on the call side. So yeah, I've got the puts filled. I'm just going to post them. Waiting on the call side as well. Both. Pretty small credit on the put side. At the 5 delta. And trying to get in on the call side. All right, finally in on the calls. All right. So I did the 38.05, 38.55 calls for 60 cents. Get that posted and let's move on to things finally. Interesting little morning. All right, so we're in. Yeah, Ernie, you got in quickly. Everybody else struggling with toss, being slow. Toss sucks. Vishal, okay. Nobody, and tough getting in on these flies. That fly moved fast this morning, but it's starting to move back up in IV again. So I put it on at 28.60 at the 35.50, and we're sitting almost right where we were, and it's starting to creep back up. So volatility is still pretty solid. In SPX, we haven't seen much come out, so we'll see if we can get anything to eke out of this this morning. All right, so waiting on SPX. Chewy, looking good. So we'll let things simmer a bit as we got in on our flies and stuff. Now it's back up to where I got in. So considering we're right at the same strikes, volatility has been interesting this morning. Volatility has been all over the place, pushing this stuff up and down. So you can still probably get in on most of these things. Yeah, Tastyworks was quick. Wasn't quick enough for me. I tried. I chased it down almost a full point before I got filled from the open this morning. So that That sucked. So Ernie, somehow you got in, I did not. And you got in way above where I was bidding, and you got in quickly. So you just never know on some of these things. It's tough when you feel like you're chasing a bit. All right, so let's take a look at some things. Let's go back through our stocks and where we are on the morning. We've got Chewy, and again trying to bounce off this line. It's up $1, and still weak in the indicators. But if we can hold this trend line and the 21 EMA and get back above the 8, I think this is a great spot to enter Chewy. So I'd be really thinking of doing something here in Chewy. So Chewy's one. DraftKings. So DraftKings is up just a little bit this morning, which is totally fine with us. So we're at the 54, or we're at the 50 down here. It's up here trying to hold the 8. You get the 21 EMA here as well. So I like everything about DraftKings in here. So I think Chewy and DraftKings, two really good opportunities. Fastly's up today, 62 cents more. If we can get a little bit move up towards our 115 here, that's going to help us. So overall, this thing's helping us a bit today if we can get it to move. NEO is up. All right, NEO's up. It's up almost $1 today. 55 is our put spread. So if we can keep there, we're in good shape. I'm gonna see if I can draw them a little differently here. So I'm gonna try to put these on here, but I'm gonna change the coloring on them so that we know what we're doing. So this is our line for our put. I'm gonna put CSP, whether it's actually cash secured or not, doesn't really matter. I think, no, we'll just do the wheel. We'll put wheel. So we're looking to wheel this thing in here, and let's change the color on it to yellow. All right, so yellow is our put on this thing. Go back to sorry. Okay. Yeah, so NEO, that's where our put is, just right on this line. So as long as we stay above that yellow line, I don't want to get confused with something else. Sorry about changing colors. Oh boy, let's not do that. Green. Now we've already got green. Orange. All right, sorry about that. So I know color is not a big thing to you, but I got enough colors on here. I don't want to get too confusing. Starting to see some big movement down on SPX, starting to affect our fly a bit. So SPX has now dropped about $8 as we sell off a bit here. We're just passing through the first 15 minutes, and we broke into the downside, although the 15-minute still hasn't really rolled over yet, but it's early. And the 5, we're watching to see what happens here on the 5 minutes. So we're going to keep an eye on things, but definitely got some selling pressure in the market. We're now down $10 on it. So keeping an eye out. We put that on for 28.60. So we have a little bit of room this morning, but I don't want to use it all up right away. That's not going to be helpful for our positions, and it's not going to be helpful for my put spread either. Especially since my credit was really low and really small on that put spread. So let's hope we can muster a little something up in here. All right, so NEO, Fastly's now gone negative, DraftKings now gone negative, NEO is now gone negative. on the day. Pins is the only one standing up. So we're definitely seeing a bunch of selling this morning. Probably going to knock us out. A few things here. Iron fly is hanging. Put spreads are not hanging. Especially since I had such a small credit because I went out a ways. And we're continuing to sell off. So pins, yeah, we had a nice move up. It's still up on the day and still above our 65. Here, we're going to remove that line. I'm just keeping an eye on the corner of my eye on everything else. Okay, we'll go orange, 65. And there's our wheel. Okay, so here's our put on this, and we're still going lower. I'm about to get stopped out on my puts on the day. I'm going to let this thing ride a tad, but I'm hitting my 3x right now, especially because I had such a low credit on this. So big selling, moving in. Let's see, we've got the 5-minute turning over. Let's go back to the SPX. On the 5-minute, definite selling coming in. See where we go, see if we can bounce off of here. If not, we'll keep an eye on things. Our iron fly still okay. We'll watch this move here, but we got a crossover on the 5-minute, which is going to give us a lot of weakness here. So we're going to watch. We need to survive a little bit longer, give ourselves some time. If not, going to probably get stopped out on my puts if we make another leg lower. Puts are right at the point of getting called out or getting stopped out. Ticks are trying to move positive, so let's see what happens here. So we'll give, hopefully we can get some extra time in here, get another tick, but it looks like we might be setting a new low, and here we go. So I'm probably going to be out of these puts now. All right, we're continuing to sell off. I'm trying to get out of the puts. Can't seem to get out. It's going to cost me a bunch. Yep. So Terrell, big move down this morning. Hurt. I'm going to stay out, or I'm going to get out here of the put spread, and I'm going to take a loss on these. Been a shit year for zero TTE stuff with all of this volatility, but I'm out. I'm going to keep the longs. I'm going to close the short, and I'm out on mine. All right, I'm out of the short leg, taking a loss on those. And we'll keep an eye on the long leg here, see if we continue to push lower on the day. And now the iron fly is starting to get affected. So SPX is now down 20 points on the day, and we're watching the 37.21 mark if we get there. So we're going to be right down in this area. So let's keep this up. Watch. But so there's our stop area here on our iron fly to the downside. So we'll watch as we get closer here. So pressing new lows on the day. And all of the good-looking level stuff from ES this morning is fading. So we're looking not great on our iron fly. And we did not get the same level here that we did on the ES this morning. So if you didn't get in on the fly, you're in great shape because it sucked and our puts sucked. So we'll stay out. Only good thing right now is that the long put is picking some space up. It's probably a day where the plus or -5 rule would have maybe been a better option with this quick move, but you can't trust the move and where things are going. So let's keep watching. We now have the 15 minutes pointing down, the 5-minute pointing down. So anything that's a bounce in here is not a signal of any kind of a reversal here at all. All right, so we'll keep an eye on things. We are trying to bounce with the 5s pointing lower. The 15's pretty well flat. This is a potential day trade opportunity in here because of the 2, but I'm not seeing enough volume to make anything go. And of course, we're reversing now, so hopefully that'll be good for our iron fly if we can reverse up and get higher. We are still 20 points off of the open this morning. And everything's moving straight up now. So keep an eye, it's good for the fly. IV has jumped from 30 to 33 IVR on SPX. So we're definitely up. We're in that VIX area of the mid 30s. So once VIX hits this 30 mark here, which it did on Friday, this is not good for 0 DTE stuff. We find that the worst trades happen on 0 DTE once VIX hits 30, between 30 and 40. Below or above, we're in good shape. Between 30 and 40, bad things typically happen on IV. So keep your limits in mind. If we can get this thing to push a little bit higher before it reverses and just eke out, we can possibly get out of our fly. Also looking at the bear traps. So the one bear trap is actually at 48, or I'm sorry, 490 right now. So you get more than tail profit on our one bear trap. So that's a good looking sign. Question is, do we stay or do we go on it? We have a 94% chance of falling in. If we can get more than tail profit on this thing, then I think it's worth it. So we're going to try to get out of the lowest of the 2 bear traps on the day. So we'll see what happens if we can. On any drop in SPX, it's going to help that bear trap start to pick up even more volume. than it already has, but the lower of the two bear traps has a short put at 35.30, which is right now at 7 delta. So there's only a 93% chance to get there. So it's good to look to close, and I'm going to look to close at $4.90 in here. So if we can get out of this bear trap, I think we'll be okay at $4.90. I don't know if we'll get that or not. Any more sideways action or anything today would be good. All right, so there's our 5-minute. We'll just keep watching. We're still looking weak on the 5-minute charts. The Stochastics tick negative right now. So this little bounce, again, I'm not convinced that we're going back up anywhere. I just want to get out of the fly. So if we can get out of the fly, it's going to be a nice win for us on the day. Tastyworks. Oh, Vishal did the 37.45 and got $1.65. Fantastic. So good call on that one. We're just waiting we're waiting for some decay. Okay, I'm out of the one bear trap, so I'm going to post that right now. So our bear trap that was centered or had the started at 3,500. That bear trap we just closed for more than tail profit. So there's a nice winner there. Closed at $4.90. That posted. So that's a 5% return. Let's take a look. We got out of this thing today. 5 days. A 5-day winner for 5.5% on that bear trap. Good deal on that. So the first of our 2 bear traps is a good success. All right, closed out the 1 bear trap. So there's a winner on the bear trap, got that posted. Makes up for some of this other nonsense that's going on. Today, we're still struggling with our fly this morning. We've now seen Fastly turn a lot more negative, down 3.5 points on Fastly. So let's just jump back in. So Fastly has now decided to turn and run completely the opposite way, down towards the 8 moving average. Not helpful for our fly in here. We'll keep an eye on it. It's an inexpensive fly. It's pretty much at break even right now. All right, Chewy, we're still up on the day, still trying to hold that line. All good there. DraftKings is now down on the day, about 41 cents. No big deal. Still holding this 21 EMA. If we hold that, we're in good shape. I'm actually going to get rid of this and this. And we'll put in where we are on DraftKings with a 50. So we'll trade here at 50. Okay. Yeah, I have to change it to orange. Okay, so there's our DraftKings piece in there. S&P's starting to head lower now, so that iron fly is still being fussed with, not looking good. We are out already of our put spread, got stopped out. We'll see what happens. It would be good to at least get this fly done and move on. From DraftKings, pins actually looking good today so far. Early morning on Pinterest, trying to hold the 50 and all of its moving average in here. So just struggling to hold the moving averages, but a good sign to see things pointing up. Stochastics moving up, RSI is moving up. So this could be a good sign on pins, which is in a nice squeeze. So I think pins is good for now. And that one's doing well for us today so far. UVXY too, we own calls in here, and we own the 14 calls. So we're just watching to see what happens. Hey, on this quick move higher, we just got out of our iron fly for a winner. So 27.10. So $1.50 winner on our fly. So there's a nice winner. Okay, so we'll take the fly. We'll take the fly win, and we'll move on. So we took the win on the fly. Right now a loss on the put spread, and we still have a call spread on. We'll see how things go. This morning, now the 5 minutes, starting to try to reverse higher. And things are just dead flat. So if we had put on these, waited on the put spreads, probably been in good shape. I think the low premium that we had was not great. I think that really hurt, having that lower premium. So, all right, so we're kind of a mixed bag on the day so far for those things. So we'll see how it goes on the rest. But we're out of the fly. We're out of the short put side. I'm going to leave the long put on for a while. We'll see what happens. All right, just trying to look at some of the trades. All right, so we're moving for the day. Anybody have any tickers that you want to cover this morning as we look at things? So yeah, silver. So retailers are buying silver by the bucket load, gapped it up high today. It's another potential Wall Street bets and retail trade push on silver. I don't think there's any reason for it, except retail buyers are in. And to me, this is one of those things of, hey, if you want to play it like the others, you potentially can. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do on it. I just think this manipulation by retailers is scary stuff. You never know when they're going to target your stock, and if you're the wrong direction on it, they have no basis in reality except to just buy something as a group, try to push it up. And I think there's not enough. This is just going to be my personal opinion on this. I don't think there's enough people in Wall Street bets to drive some of these moves. A lot of this has to be coming from institutions as well, who are just piggybacking on what they're doing. So not that a lot of retail traders can't have some impact, but to have to have 10, 20, 30, 100% moves, that's not happening by thousands and thousands of retail traders that are in there. there's got to be some other people piggybacking onto these moves and making some money behind it. So I can't get into to silver here, but certainly looks interesting. I'm going to run through just quickly some tickers. So Facebook looks terrible. So let's start with Apple. Apple down. All right, I'm going to close the long leg. So on this move, bear with me. I'm going to take some close the long leg on this put spread. All right, I closed my long leg, got some money out of that, not a lot. Probably closed it too early, but hey, I'm out, and it's fine with me. So we're out of the put spread entirely. Took a little bit of a loss on it today. It is what it is. Just not been a great year for the zero DTE strategies overall. However, Iron Fly, we're starting to finally make some inroads on these things. So we've had a good string of winners, and we'll keep looking at the 1 DTE winners as well. Yeah, I don't think silver is going down to zero at all, but they're pushing it up to a level that I can't feel myself comfortable doing anything at those levels when they push these up. So it's weird. Facebook, here's Amazon. Amazon's been frustrating. This one is up, down, really consolidating, trying to break free, then it dips down. Tries to break free, then it dips down. Today, making a move up. We got earnings coming up. I still think Amazon's a good play on something, and I don't know where. Let's see, earnings are tomorrow on Amazon, so we'll see where it goes. Nvidia does not look great, getting to new lows. Google looks okay. So Google's one of those that's at least doing something decent looking, but you got earnings coming up tomorrow, so staying out of it. Microsoft still fussing with that top of the channel, and it's coming down now. So it hit an all-time high, and is now coming back off of that. Everything else still looks good for continued run on Microsoft. Netflix is maybe trying to find a base. I just got a notice this morning about them hiking it, or last night, whatever, hiking it another $1, my subscription. So they're continuing to raise prices, even though their big run may be a bit over with. So we'll see what happens. Still watching over here to see if we may turn higher here. We are dead flat. I mean, this is perfect looking stuff for a second iron fly right in here, about 37.35 or so. So things look really, really flat for a second iron fly to come in. I don't know that I'm going to do it, but I think there's really a lot of super flat on the 15-minute here, not a lot of movement. All right, so there's Netflix, CRM looking better, starting to recover off of its lows. I think you've got good opportunities in CRM right now to do something in here. I think a put spread would be good in CRM. Adobe is hitting close to that support level here, starting to make its turn. It may have bottomed. this might be a good opportunity for Adobe to make a run towards that, 495 mark in Adobe. So it's still below the moving averages, so I don't want to do anything that's too risky. I'm going to watch and see as we consolidate here, but we're starting to get into a squeeze situation, but I like Adobe. AMD, one of my favorites, and we have rode it well, but now you're breaking all kinds of support and all kinds of moving averages. You just broke the 100 and confirming another break on the 100. The Bollinger Band's opening to the downside, MACD continuing to worsen, RSI heading lower, stochastics heading lower, the squeeze momentum is heading even lower. Nothing's showing any signs of a turn on AMD. As soon as I see it, I'm probably going to look to get in, but I don't really know where I see any kind of support here on AMD. So if I look a little farther out, I felt that this was a pretty solid support line and it's really breaking it. There isn't a good next support level in here. The only thing at this point, and then don't rely on these for something like this necessarily, but I could look at this fib move to the highs and maybe say somewhere around this 83.5 might be a good spot for AMD. So 83.5 is the next fib level. It happens to be the 618, which is a strong fib level. So pretty strong fib level in here on AMD. And I liked it up here, so I really like it here. I'm going to look to wheel something on AMD pretty soon. Let's take a look at AMD. In here, if we looked out to now, we can look at this Friday. I don't know, it's pretty close. I want to stay below this 83.5. So I want to be at least at 83 or lower. You could write the 82s on AMD here for this Friday and collect over 1%. I think it's worth maybe a shot on AMD here. I would be okay owning this thing at 82% or 82. So I may look at that. I could look at the 82 for about a 1% move for this Friday, or I could go to next Friday and I could also look at the 80s. That wouldn't give me as much. I could look at the 82 for next Friday for 2% at the same spot, which I don't think I would do. Bear with me. Next Friday, I could go to the 80s and sell this and take in 1.6% over the next 11 days. Which would still put me well over a 50% annual return on it. So I think that's what I may do. I think I'm going to look to next Friday on AMD. And I think I'm going to put this on. So I'm going to take a look and see if I can get a $1.26 on AMD and put on a wheel trade for next Friday. Okay, I took $1.25. So I am going to wheel AMD for next Friday, and I'm going to take the additional on it. So I do like AMD here. I did the 80. So I felt like, I felt a little bit better going out to next week on this. So we get the 80 on a wheel trade. Okay, and we're going to go down all the way down to the 80 here. So we're going to hope that this fib level here can hold, or that we can maybe recover on this thing. It's at lows. The internals are really not good, but they're fairly extreme negative. We may not be done good. I think there's more opportunity for downside on AMD here, but I think I think it's worth a wheel trade in here. So I'm going to add this one on. We did the February 12th. AMD, and we did the 80, and we took in $1.25 for that. We're going to add AMD to our wheel trades and add something new there. So I like it. I liked AMD. I like it here. I liked it up in here. Yeah, it's pulling back. Let's see if we can hold this fib level on AMD, and I'm happy owning it for the long haul. I think it's a solid company. So I like it in here. Okay. Let's keep moving. All right, Tesla. So Tesla's real interesting. Had a big, I think it had an upgrade today. I didn't catch all of the info on Tesla, but Tesla looks the same. So it's heading down towards, to me, fairly extreme lows. Hasn't begun to turn yet, but I think possibility that this thing at some point returns. I don't know what if somebody else, yeah, I'll look it up. So on Tesla today, okay, they got a $1,200 target put on them today. So somebody put a $1,200 target. My target, as I mentioned to you guys, was $1,100. So somebody just came out with a $1,200 target. They're up a lot more higher paid than I am. So this is a potentially a good pullback opportunity here, holding the 21 EMA pretty nicely in here at lows. I think this is an opportunity on Tesla if you want to risk something, a put spread, maybe on Tesla. Is it done going down? I don't know. The market's done going down or not, but I might actually look to do something on Tesla. And let's see what we got to work with. Well, we can take in $1 at the $700 mark. So right down in here where the 50 is, and there's some support, that I kind of feel we have down in here. So, excuse me, playing with crayons a little bit in here with you, but so 695 is a pretty nice support level here on Tesla. It was this pivot high. We stopped at it again, jumped over it the next day, tested it, and then took off. So if we come down, we could come down and test this area here. You could do this right above it, the 705, 700. You can take $1.13 on a 5 wide, which is not a bad opportunity. So if you think Tesla could hold here, it might, but with a new price target and everything, I think this is a possible trade. I'm taking a look to see. That's the only 5 wides. They stop at 700. I didn't really do the 10 wide as much, although we did the 700, 690. We get $2 on a 10 wide, so not bad. So I really like this level down in here. Let's see what we get. 700. Or the 710, 700, get 230 or something. let's keep an eye on Tesla, but I might be willing to drop a put spread on Tesla down in here and see if we can get something for that. If I can get 240, 250, maybe something like that. Let's throw that out and just see what happens. So we'll cast a little net and see if we can get filled on Tesla. DocuSign, 1023. Yeah, but fast. Let's see if I can, if I can pull that up. I can't see well enough on that. A lot of volume way down on Tesla. I do like that area that I marked off, though. I think that's a decent area. We're still hitting new lows on DocuSign, on Teladoc. It's got earnings coming up, and it's holding on. Peloton might be starting to base out here. So we had some previous support in here. We look back. If we look back to here and draw that over, we've hit it a couple times now and bounced off of that support. So that's been a solid support area. This uptrend continues to hang in there. Still, it wants to get back to this 21 EMA in the 8s, which could now act potentially as resistance on it. But you're starting to get some turn here. I don't want to miss necessarily, but I think I can wait another day to get some confirmation up in here. So we'll see what happens on Peloton, but I do like it here. Roku, have we based out at the bottom? I don't know yet, but I think we're close. So you could get a nice bounce here, and Roku might be giving you the next leg up. So Roku is an opportunity. Shop, same thing, really trying to hold this support level, and you can see that this support level has been resistance and some support, and again, support today, support a little bit here on these. It's really fighting to hold this 1110 mark on it, and you might be starting to get the reversal on Shop today. So let's see what happens in another day or two on Shop, but I do like Shop. Ulta, don't like. Home Depot, don't like. Costco, don't like. These are all showing a lot of weakness. Walmart, don't like. Target, don't hate. So I don't hate Target in here. You've got some support levels, which it seems to be trying to hold, trying to reverse higher. You might be starting to turn, not yet. I'm going to wait till this thing moves a little more sideways on Target. CRM, so Ernie, bear call. Now I can't do bear calls. It's against my sunny disposition. I find it really hard to play call spreads in a rocketing bull market, even on pullbacks. Even in times of pullbacks. So I don't think I can bet against it. I can't short and I can't sell calls. Every time I do, I would get burned. I think this thing goes higher, and I think you're seeing the squeeze momentum firing. I think you're starting to see stochastics and MACD turn up. I think this thing goes higher. So I think if you put a bear call spread on, you could get tested in this thing. I'd be willing to put on a put spread. So bull put spread, I certainly think is possible, and I think you've got some support levels down in here too. This 220 mark. I would actually consider going the other way on CRM. Putting on, now we have earnings on February 23rd, but we could do, that 220, 215. You can take in $1.42. I don't know, this 220 area could be a good spot to get in and sell on CRM. If we go out, that's the 18 days. If I go just 2 strikes past earnings and hope to stay above that, but I would get out before earnings. No, it doesn't make any difference. So I'd consider something down here in CRM, but I'm not going above. But I cannot short or take the a call spread, a bear call spread on anything. All right, let's keep rolling through. Disney, I don't like it. Although it could be starting to reverse here. So everything's starting to show reversal signs. So squeeze momentum has reversed, MACD has reversed, stochastics and RSI have definitely reversed off of this low. So Disney starting to come back a bit here, but it's got earnings on the 11th that you have to pay attention to. Boeing, so we're down here fighting with this support level on Boeing. It's still showing increasing downside momentum on the squeeze, but on the 3 key indicators for me, MACD, finally a reversal today a little bit, RSI starting to reverse, and stochastics may be turning up. So I think Boeing could be an opportunity in here, and you've got this downtrend line. So this is key. You got to break this downtrend line and then come back and test it, and off we go to the races. So I think there's some opportunity there to get long Boeing. All right, MA and Visa we looked at. I still don't like them, but you could be starting to get a reversal here. So I like the opportunities in here as well. GS could be bottoming here, could be reversing. So there's a lot of stocks that are lower and a lot of stocks looking like they may be putting in some basis to move higher here. Square is definitely one I want to get in on. We've got earnings not till the 23rd. I like Square. I think it's made its reverse. Squeeze has not confirmed it, but everything else is really starting to move up on Square. So I think there's some good support down in here for Square. I'm going to give it some time. BABA has just continued to come off these lows, but doesn't look like it's reversing or anything yet. Now, here's one it is. So Chipotle, everything moving higher on Chipotle. Now it's running into earnings, so I can't really touch it, but let's see what happens after earnings, which are tomorrow, I believe, right? So, yeah. Today. No, is that today? When is that? Tomorrow. So Chipotle earnings tomorrow. Zoom struggling to want to reverse. It looks like you might be starting to get the reversal here. So I think breaking through the 21 EMA and the 8 EMA here, good sign. We're getting tighter, potentially in a squeeze opportunity on Zoom. We could look at another leg higher on Zoom. So I like Zoom. Looks good here. Okay, so Zoom looks good. CyberArk looks good. Still, I'd like to see a little bit more of a reversal on some of the fundamentals. Trying to just hold this 8. If it bounces off the 21 here, Cyber, I think, is something that we'll take a look at getting into. It's one I like a lot, and we could wheel this one. McDonald's, I don't like it. Lulu, another one. So Lulu could be reversing. So you've got a big reversal looking candle, big reversal candles. So it's every time it's been selling off lately, it's been rebounding. You've got MACD turning, stochastics, RSI starting to turn. Squeeze is always behind. So it's always lagging the actual turn most of the time by a day or two. But once you start to see that turn here, it'll confirm it. I'd like to get a little bit more sideways before we jump into Lulu. Wayfair, I don't like it. JPM could be bottoming. PayPal could be bottoming, have bottom, but you got earnings coming up here on the 3rd. But I like PayPal here. If earnings weren't coming up, you're in a squeeze. It's a good looking stock. All right, no, we got bunches to go, and we're going to wrap up here in about 10 minutes, guys. So if you have some you want to look at, let me know, and we'll do something. So snow could be reversing here. Oracle, it looks like it's starting to move. It broke the downtrend, came back down, retested this downtrend. My trend lines are usually this hot pink. So it just this boom, 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 boom. It just can't break it, broke it, came down, tested it, and now I think it could be off to the races. So keep an eye on Oracle. It's not an exciting stock, but it looks good in here. And I think this thing's already reversed on Crowd. So I think Crowd's a good opportunity here as well. Okta, this area here, potentially providing a lot of resistance. We've banged into it. We're heading to it again as we break through. So this has been resistance for us. So we'll see if it's resistance again. If we can break through that mark, we could be good, but everything's pointing up now. So my key 3, the RSI is above 50, stochastic's above 50, and the MACD is just trying to break through. It hasn't done it yet, but it's almost there. So to me, this thing is stacked and ready to roll. It's above all of its moving averages. Okta looks good. I'd probably consider looking to do something on this, as SPX is definitely coming. We jumped out, got hurt this morning on that put. We would have been fine had we held a little longer, but I got to stay true to the mechanics. This is where that ±5 would have been a good trading opportunity, but I can't take a 8x loss on it and wipe out 5 days of gains, 6 days of gains already. So we'll just stay mechanical. We'll win on the other side, hopefully, unless this thing reverses even higher and puts our call spreads in danger. We're a ways away from that move. But Okta, I like it here. This could be an in-out trade. It could also be a put spread. There's a lot of opportunities for Okta, or you can just buy calls, whatever you want to do, but I like Okta here. Coop, starting to reverse as well, still down. Spotify looks terrible. Domino's hitting new recent lows. This thing does not look great, but it could be starting to reverse soon. Trade Desk. So Trade Desk is always an interesting one. Might be starting to reverse here, so you could be looking at a squeeze breakout on Trade Desk. So I like it. Earnings got to be coming up. Not till the 25th, so you have some time for a run into earnings. Last earnings, it gapped big time. So this could be a good run here on Trade Desk. Chegg, I like this one a lot. So Chegg, I like a lot. I think I would wheel this one. I'm thinking of wheeling this one. Okay, got highs up here. You got some bit of support, which we broke here. So there's not a strong support level, but we'll keep an eye on it. So you got a little bit of support in this area here. We really haven't used it for much, except we held above it on Friday, and we bounced off of it today. So possibly getting some support in here on this thing. It's broken the downtrend, or broken its uptrend here. So it's got some repair to do, but everything's starting to reverse. I like Chegg. I think this is an opportunity here on it. Plug, same thing, or not same thing. Plug is weaker. I don't like Plug as much here. The momentum seems to be coming out of this thing. We'll wheel it if we start to see any kind of bottoming action, and it's got to fill this gap most likely in here. It kind of came close, but really didn't. So I really think we could come down, hit this 21 EMA, and if we can hold it, then I think Plug's a good one. All right, pins, we're already in this one, and it's reversing. Looks good on these indicators. We are heading into earnings coming up, so we have to be careful to be out, and that's going to hurt our decay on this thing. So we really need a move because decay is not going to be great. Fastly, we already talked about selling off today. Palantir selling off. This does not look great in here yet. Rocket. Really some interesting days, and now it's calming itself down. I do like Rocket. I would look to wheel this thing again. We've got too many trades on, so I can't. But you could do Friday at the 20 here. You definitely got support. We've been playing around the 19, 19 and a half. The 19 and a half can't get quite enough money for Friday. I have to go to the 20s to get enough to get a 1% move by Friday. But you know what? Owning this thing at 20 down here is not a bad gig. It seems to be bouncing. It's got really mixed signals, but squeeze is firing. So the only thing about Rocket is not marginable. So if you're going in the Rocket, it's going to cost you. So you're going to be fully cash secured on this. Not that you necessarily shouldn't be, but that's going to chew up a lot of my margin. And I don't want, for the amount of money that I want to get out of it, it's going to chew up a lot. But I like Rocket. I think you could do something in it. Dow looks terrible. Micron looks okay. So this one's starting to reverse as well. So you got a little reversal in Micron. Marvel, I like this, but I'm waiting to see that we get some reversal on my particular indicators. So we're still down, but maybe that 21 could be a spot. All right. Zoom info, Bavesh, is that what you put in there? I think it was a ZI. You've got MACD positive, you've got stochastics weakening, but they're still positive. RSI positive. You've got squeeze firing. All systems are go on this Zoom info technologies. So yeah, you could see a move up on this one. I don't know what your play is on it, but you could certainly sell a call sell a put or put spread on Zoom info. I don't know enough about it for me to be any better than that, but I like it. I like it. So Activision, let's get these fibs off the screen. Activision looks like this thing might be doing its reversal here. It may have already started the reverse. It has earnings coming up, so I can't really play anything yet, but I like Activision. I like Zillow here too. I think Zillow is starting to bottom out potentially. Let's see some sideways action on it, and we can be in good shape. Etsy, same thing. It could be bottoming, but I'm not convinced yet. But it's trying to hold the 21 EMA. So there's a lot of put spread opportunities out there, as opposed to just naked puts on things. I probably would go naked on a few things and just unwind them, but I don't like them enough. Skyworks is taken off. It's in good shape. So if you like Skyworks, I think you could get in on this one, and a butterfly on Skyworks could potentially be an opportunity here, somewhere up in here. Hopefully you guys are getting something out of this. I hope you feel this is valuable to you. Let's look at a February 12th expected moves around 15 bucks. If we centered at like 195 and we did 5 wides, we get 92 cents. For a 10 wide, 9%, it's okay. On that, we could potentially widen out a bit more and go to 10 wides. I'm sorry, 20 wides. Taking 10% here, so 10% chance. That might be a good option here. So I'm gonna look to throw in a butterfly on Tastyworks here. Things look good on this stock, so I'm going to put in a butterfly centered at 195 with $10 wings. Okay, so I'm going to drop this trade in, and I will. So I'm going to do a February 12th call butterfly, and I'm going to do the 185, 195, 205, so 10 wides. 185, 205, so I'm going to go 10 wide, and I got filled at $1.52. I'll throw one of these on. Okay, drop a butterfly in on Tastyworks and see what happens on this one. So we got a good deal on it at $1.52, and we'll see where things go on Tastyworks on any movement up in here. The 195 is our center. We could definitely hit there. The thing will travel $5 a day on good days. It's up that $5, or it's up 10. I'm sorry, it could travel $10 a day on good days. It's up 10 today. We'll see. If we don't get there too fast, we'll be in good shape on it. All right, we're getting to. Let's just keep going through here. Redfin could be bottoming. Lemonade could be bottoming. T-Mobile could be bottoming and starting to reverse. Dix, Dix is fair. Little mixed signals for me. Space looks great. I can't play it. It's already off to the races. Chewy, we're down on the day, but it's relatively flat on Chewy. We have the 95. I'm going to delete that thing out. Replace it with the new. All right, so we're going to wheel this thing. We are wheeling it already. And as long as we hold that line there, we're trying to hold these fib levels in here. So we'll see what happens on Chewy. Don't like the looks of things right now. A little weak on the indicators. I'm just hoping it holds the uptrend lines and the 21. All right, Bank of America could be reversing. Datadog, I kind of like this here. So I like Datadog. Could be looking to reverse on Datadog. I'm pretty full on trade, so I don't think I can put anything on right now, but I would actually probably sell a put on Datadog. It looks decent in here. All right, so I could probably even extend that back even further, but I think it looks good. All right, I'm just catching up on 100 text messages. Okay. Datadog. So I like it. So I like the, this potential area in here, which was some support, still looks to be holding pretty well. So it's been a long-term support level. I mean, we've broken above and below it, but it's got some interesting, I mean, there's so much noise, it's probably invalidated it now, but there was opportunities there. But you've got this trend line that we're fussing with on Datadog, so things look decent on it. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. Potential BioLife, potentially bottoming. DraftKings, we already know it, we're in it. Penn Gaming, I like it. So I like the looks of everything that I'm seeing here, except I don't like MACD being a little weak, but we got earnings coming up, so we got to just wait through earnings. So Corsair Gaming, I like, but it's starting to turn ugly. So we're going to stay away from it until earnings are over. Twitter rolling into earnings, that's good. Neo's down towards our strike on Neo. We're down $1 today. This thing's just been trading sideways quite a bit, a lot of weakness. So we had to roll before. We might need to roll again on Neo. We got theta working for us, so let's see what happens if we can stay above 55. If not, one of these days we're going to get a sign, we're going to stick in it. But if I can roll, I'll keep rolling for now. Workhorse, we're out of, we've been out of on this run. It's gapped up more today. I think it's bananas on Workhorse. I like it, but I don't like it now. Lee could be putting in somewhat of a bottom. Xpeng, I don't like it either. And Ride, I don't love any of these right now. Any of the indicators. So I want to give them a little bit of time. Helion, same thing. All right, SBE, and we're on this one as well too. I don't like them. So most of these EV stocks, I don't like the looks of the charts right now. So charts and internals looking pretty weak. GM though, I'd like to pull back. I think we can wheel this thing, and I think we could start to see some reversal soon on it here. I like the fact that it bounced off this 21. I think this was probably the time to sell something on GM. I'm not ready yet, but we're close. ARC, good opportunity. I think we're potentially reversing. CRISPR, I think we have an opportunity here to get in. I think we're at lows. We could continue to go lower, but let's monitor this one a little. Starbucks could be reversing. Nice update today. And earnings is in the rearview mirror. We held the 50% retracement here nicely. So we've managed to hold this level. This could be a nice wheel trade, and I need more buying power. There's a lot of opportunities out there. So Win is another one. It never really got to this fib level here. And I think we're reversing, but we're heading into earnings. We got to hold off and just get through earnings season. Carnival does not look good. Norwegian definitely does not look good. So these are breaking significant support levels in here, and I'm not touching these yet. Love, though, could be reversed, could be starting to reverse. So, yeah, this trend line has been hanging around for quite some time. Let's go back and see. I mean, it dates back even further. this chart. So it dates back to here. This thing is boom, pretty much boom, and then boom. So this is a really long support line that's been around for quite a while. So this long support line has been around for a while here, and we'll wait and see what happens on it. It's probably actually a little steeper than I drew it. I think that's probably a lot more accurate line. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So from this low back here in May, hit it again in August, hit it again in November, and then crashed through it a little bit. Crashed, bad word. Broke through it here. The thing is, can we regain it quickly, or does it become support now? It looks like we could be reversing. So love could be an opportunity. I'm going to guess that delta looks the same from that standpoint, but you're breaking through and heading lower, where love heading higher is starting to reverse. Delta's going the other way. GameStop's sinking today. So this thing's down 100 points today. So if you're playing it and you decided to sell the 250s or 300 puts, you're screwed right now. And good luck. The only thing on GameStop is for Friday, what would you be willing to go out to? Are you willing to own this thing back down in the 50, 40, 30 range? Potentially, I mean, super wide spreads, but the 25 has a lot of action on it. So the 25 down in here for Friday, you can get a pretty good amount for it. Now, you're not going to get any margin on this thing, so it's going to be full priced, but you know, I could potentially see selling the 25s for a good return, well over 1% by Friday. Bear with me. Okay, I'm going to have to jump in a minute. Overstock, selling off, does not look great. Valero looks terrible. I don't even know why I'm tracking Valero. Get rid of that. Run, SunPower, nice sell off today. Skills looks decent, but selling off. Potentially Open Door is making a bounce here. And there's some opportunity in this thing. When you look at this uptrend line, it looks pretty defined to me. So you know what, let's put it up here a little bit more. Doesn't have to be exact, but this way we get as many touches as possible on it. So here's Open Door. Looking at this one, so we're holding this uptrend line beautifully. Bam, 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 bam again, and then bouncing off, starting to potentially reverse, getting into the squeeze here, trying to hold this. Open Door could be a real possibility for a wheel trade. I kind of like it in here. FireEye, after the big gap up run that it's had, you know, I think this potentially could be some support right in here for FireEye. So if we took this one, bring it across evenly. Okay. right, we're way over time, but you can see this day it gapped up, came back down and hit it, came back down and hit it, broke it, but finished above, came back down, broke it, but finished above. So this could be a real good level for FireEye. I do like it. Earnings are here. Let's see what happens on earnings. But we're interested in this one. And then First Solar. This is support. So First Solar, it's been held, and breaking today. So we'll see what happens with First Solar in here. But there was some support. One day is not going to break, but this does not look good. On First Solar, Riot selling off pretty well, but could be trying to reverse. It's struggling right in here. It could be holding this 21. So Riot might be an opportunity on this. If I look at Riot, and we could even look at the Friday, we could be selling like the 15 for probably 23 bucks, which would be over 1% for Friday. It's only a partially marginable stock, so it will cost us a bit, but selling the 15s for Friday might be interesting, but I'm going to let it percolate for a bit. If I didn't sell Fridays and I went out to next Friday, I could probably go down to the 13s and get a lot of credit. So I can get almost 40 some odd cents. This is actually not bad looking. So Riot for next Friday would be 11 days, and I can sell the 13, which would be down in here. So I think there's potential support in this area somewhere around 16. For this, is it bottoming? I don't know, but if I sold the 13s, I might be willing to hold it, to own this thing at 13 and see what happens. And I could get 46 cents for that, which is a pretty good return on investment. So that would be what, 46 cents divided by the 13 strike, be 3.5% in 11 days. That's pretty good on this sell-off in Riot. How far down does it go? Could be bottoming. RSI is definitely headed lower. But MACD could be turning. I don't know. Well, let's keep an eye on this thing. I might ask for the full for 50 cents on it and see what I can get on Riot. And if I can't, then that's fine. But we'll see if we can get in on Riot. Other than that, Pershing Square looking interesting. Afria looking interesting. This thing could potentially be moving higher on it. And then Solo not looking interesting. So looking like things could be breaking down on Solo. All right. I think that's good for this morning. That's a lot. It's 11 o'clock. We got an IF winner. We got a put spread loser. And then we're good on most everything else that we have. And we entered an AMD trade and a Skyworks butterfly trade today. Got good pricing on both. So all is well so far this morning. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you in Slack. Bye-bye.